it off in child's pose, please. Bring your knees to the mat, your forehead to the mat, and your hips towards your heels. Right away, settle in. Exhale all the air out. Just arrive on your mat, on your space. And right away, bring the attention to the breath. Feel the back rise and fall as you inhale and exhale naturally. And then start to cultivate the Ujjayi Pranayama, the victorious or oceanic breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose. And then exhaling through the nose, pushing the air up and out the back of your throat, creating a sort of like sighing sound or rustling like sound with the breath. Try to keep these inhales and exhales through the nose throughout class as we build heat in the body, just with the breath alone, not to mention the movement. You can set an intention for your practice today. If you're going with mine, it will just be to breathe deeper. Every time you get to a pose, breathe a little deeper. As you move through transitions, think about breathing deeper. Really put the breath before all else today. Once you have the breath, have your intention set, you can come right on up to a tabletop position. Stack shoulders over wrists. Stack your hips over your knees. Suck the belly into the spine. Reach the crown of the head forward and the tailbone reaches back. Find that neutral spine, almost like you could balance a teacup right on that place where your back meets your bum. Inhale. Find space around the body, all the way around. And then exhale to stay. On the next inhale, we move through cat-cow. Inhale, cow pose. Arch the back. Look up. Tailbone scoops up. And then exhale for cat. Round the spine. Tuck the chin towards the chest. Reach the tailbone down. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Right back to that intention of breathing deeper. Send breath to all those places that feel sticky or held as you start to move through this. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. One last set of cat-cow. Then after this last one, we come back to that neutral spine tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Walk the hands forward a few inches. And then we move to down dog. Lift the hips up and back. You're in this upside down V shape, down dog. You can walk your dog to start if you want to bend your left knee, bend your right, shift the weight from side to side slowly. As you do so, breathing deeply into the backs of the legs, into the shoulders, the back side of the body. And then we start to clean it up. Downward facing dog. You're in this upside down V. Your hips are reaching way back. Toes and knees track forward. Heels reach down towards the mat. Slight bend in the knees if you like. Head is balancing between your biceps. And arms are shoulders width distance apart. Or hands are shoulders width distance apart. Keep sucking the belly into the spine. Breathing here. And if you can, try to turn the insides of your elbows up. Wrap the arm muscles, the outer arm muscles, those triceps around the bone and down towards the mat. Almost like you could turn your armpits in towards one another. One more breath in here. Exhale to stay. On the inhale, come on forward to a plank. Shoulders stack over wrists. Hips slightly below the shoulders. Roll forward so that the heels are over the balls of the feet. One more breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. Lower the chest and the chin down to the mat. Booty in the air. And then baby cobra. Drop the hips. Chest reaches through. Squeeze the elbows in by your side. Tops of feet press into the mat. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees back down. Come on up to a tabletop position from here. So shoulders over wrists again, hips over knees. And we start to move through a few exercises to warm up the lower body. We'll get into the legs, the glutes, and hopefully work on that IT band today. So inhale, the right leg reaches back. Flex the foot a lot. The heel is no higher than the glute. You keep the hips squared to the mat, squared to the front. You can do that by turning your right toes in towards the midline. Imagine an equator running down the middle of your mat. Try to turn the toes in there. Keep flexing the foot, engage the leg. We're just warming up the whole leg, the glutes, all of those muscles that support the hip. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. If the belly is dropping and the back is arching, pull it back in line. Gaze is down by the hands. Really, once again, breathe into this. Find the breath. And then exhale. Bring that right foot down to the mat right behind the left. Swing the left out to the side. Supported side plank. Right hand reaches up. The right foot is pressed down into the mat, especially the pinky edge, so much so that maybe the arch of the foot pulls up a little bit. We're trying to lift that right hip up, roll it back and stack it on top of the left. So you can almost push that left hip forward, squeeze the glute, and then right hand, right shoulder stack over the left. Breathe in here. Exhale to stay. 3 more breaths here. Option to lift that right foot up and balance on the left knee, left leg. That right foot is flexed. Imagine you could stamp it on the wall behind you. Keep pressing that left hand firmly into the mat, but imagine me pulling up on the right hand, so we're not dumping too much weight down into that bottom hand. And then the right foot, again, flex it a lot. 1 more breath in. Exhale, lower it back down. Bring the right hand back down to the mat. Come back to a tabletop. We do the same thing on the other side. Left leg reaches back. Few breaths here into this spinal balance to start. Left toes turn in towards the midline, squaring that left hip with the right. Heel is no higher than the glute. Breathe here, and again, if the back is arching a little bit, pull the belly in towards the spine. Engage the core. Breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. And then we gently step that left foot back, spin it down, heel come down to the mat, and then that right leg swings out to the right side, left hand lifts. Supported side plank. You're stacking left hand over the left shoulder, over the right shoulder, over the right wrist and hand. Imagine your back is flat against a wall behind you. That left hip, we pull it up and back, almost like we could push our right hip forward a little, stacking our left over our right. Breathe here. 3 more breaths. Option to lift that left foot. Flex it. Once again, stamp it on a wall behind you or an imaginary wall. Keep lifting it and flexing it. Flex it so much so that you feel the whole leg engage. 1 more breath in. Exhale, gently bring it down. Lower everything down to the mat. Come on back up to a plank pose. So step the left and the right foot back. Shoulders over wrists. This time, we go through a different kind of flow. Inhale, press away from the mat. Exhale, chaturanga, half push up down, resist gravity. Upward facing dog, tops of feet to the mat. Chest reaches through, hips drop. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Back to that upside down V shape, hips lift. Feel the difference between this down dog and your first one. You've gone through 2 different flows. You can always skip a flow or mix and match as we go through more of those throughout class. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee to the nose and hold. Inhale, press away from the mat, pull the leg up into the chest. Exhale, step that right foot gently through high crescent lunge. Shoulders stacked over hips. Let's get the bottom half of the body set up. Bend the right knee a lot, but make sure you can still see your toes over that right knee. Left heel is rolled forward over the ball of the foot, slight bend in the knee, or you work to straighten it. Hips point forward, arms reach up. Now, as you're in this pose, think about your core. Think about those two hip bones in the front and the 2 points that are the bottom point of your rib cage. Can you imagine closing those all together towards your belly, engaging that front part of the core? Arms reach up again. Inhale. Exhale, we twist. Right hand back, left hand forward. If you came out of the lunge, sit back down into it. Bend that right knee. Legs did not move. You're just twisting from the belly, wringing out those internal organs. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. One more breath in, as deep as you can. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Windmill the arms up, open to the left side. Back heel comes down to the mat. Pinky edge of the foot is on the mat. Right knee points forward, as do the right toes. Sit low into this warrior two lunge. Make sure you can see your right toes over that right knee. Arms reach apart like I was pulling them apart, as if I was grabbing onto your wrists and reaching them apart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Drop them down. Beautiful. Flip that front right palm, reach forward, 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 and then reverse your warrior. Left hand comes to the top of the left leg. Right hand reaches up again. If you tend to come up out of those lunges when you reverse, sit back down. Find the bend in that knee. Find the stretch in the right side body from the right hip bone all the way out the fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale, hands come down to the mat and stay. Plant the hands. Step that right foot back on top of the left. Come to side plank. Right hand lifts up. Left hand is on the mat. Option always to bring the bottom knee down. But if you're in this side plank, imagine your back is flat against a wall behind you. You're lifting that right hip up, squeezing the left hip up as well. As you pull the left hip up, you push the right hip up, right? You need both of them. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand comes down to the mat, shift back to plank. Go through a flow. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Deep breath in. Open the mouth, H-A. Release some heat. Inhale, the left leg lifts, toes point, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee towards nose and hold. Inhale, press into the mat, pull the knee up into the chest. Exhale, gently step the left foot through, high crescent lunge. Feet are on railroad tracks, not on a tightrope, so they're hips width distance. Left knee bends all the way, but you can still see the left toes over the left knee. Back heel shifts forward over the right heel. Straighten the leg if you can, or just keep working into the straightening, yeah? Big stretch in the right hip. And then again, those 4 points of the core, or those 4 points that sort of frame your core in the front, squeeze them together, belly button in towards the spine. Arms reach up, drop the shoulders from the ears. Inhale. Exhale to twist, left hand back, right hand forward. If you came out of the lunge, sit back down into it. Twist from the belly button. Keep straightening that right leg. Engage the legs here. And then breathe into the twist. We're wringing out those internal organs. All of these twists, awesome for digestion. Sit low into that left leg also, so that we're engaging the left glute, left hamstring and quad. One more breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Right hand reaches back, left hand forward. We spiral that back heel down to the mat, toes point to the right. And then left toes and left knee stay tracking forward. They really don't move. You're just gentle as you transition to warrior two from that crescent. Arms reach apart. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down the back. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. One more breath in. Flip that front left palm. Reach forward, forward, forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand back, left hand up. Sit back down into the lunge if you came out. Big stretch from the left hip bone, out the fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. Last inhale to reach. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. You're in that low lunge, and when you get to that low lunge, press the hands into the mat. Left foot steps back on top of right. Slow transition to the side plank. Left hand is a straight line up from the right. Keep lifting that right hip up, squeezing the glute. Left hip lifts as well. Press the pinky edge of the right foot into the mat. Inhale here. Feel that crunch in the bottom oblique, yeah? One more breath in. Exhale, left hand comes down to the mat, shift back to the feet, plank pose, and then we go through a flow, or just meet us straight in downward facing dog. Exhale all the air out. Shh. Deep breath in. HA. Gently bring the knees down to the mat. And then sit your bum back towards your knees just for a second here, letting a little bit of the blood come back down into the body from the head. You're upside down in an inversion like a down dog. A little bit more blood come into your head, so just let it seep back in. And then gently swing the legs out in front of you. Bring the knees into the chest right away. We're going to go into boat pose. Plenty of options here. Float your boat, keep it anchored, whatever you like. Bring the knees in towards the chest, heels in towards the glutes. Hands are on the shins. First off, feel that lift. Try to put your chest on top of your knees. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and down the back. Find length in the spine, a lift in the heart. Stay here or lift the heels. Option to reach the hands forward, palms facing up. Option to float your boat, legs squeeze together, toes lift off of the mat. Don't lose that up dog in the chest, that lift in the heart, and the length in the spine if you take your feet off of the mat. Option to straighten the legs. Keep squeezing them together. Lift and stay. Breathe here for 5. Count them out yourself. Gently bring your hands underneath your legs. Feet come back down to the mat. We're slowly going to lower ourselves down onto the mat all the way. Nice. Feet, you can pull in towards your glutes once again. And then just lift one foot up and then the other. Flex the feet towards the ceiling. Make sure that lower back is on the mat. You need to pick your bum up and then put it back down. Press that lower back into the mat. Feet are right over the hips. We don't want them coming closer to the head, but instead at a direct 90-degree angle between your legs and your hips. Right? Both hands reach up in the air. Imagine you're squeezing a beach ball. And then we're just going to lift and lower slowly 10 times, keeping the feet flexed at all times, legs engaged. Inhale here. Exhale, crunch. Shoulders off of the mat. Lift straight up. Lower. Lift. Lower. You got 7. 6, breathe with every movement. 5, squeeze the abs. 4, little crunches. 3, last 2, feet flexed. Last 1, and then let the upper body drop. Now what we're going to do, take that right leg, cross it over the left, and I want you to bend the knees and just reach your hands onto your shins. So this is cow face pose, but it's cow face pose on your back, supine. So you're grabbing your shins or your ankles and you're pulling your feet really gently towards you. You're going to feel this a lot in the outer legs, outer glutes, hopefully your IT band. And the IT band, that fibrous band, is not a muscle. So we're not strengthening it, we're just stretching it out and really strengthening those muscles around the IT band in the legs, the glutes, the lower back, that help us to keep that IT band safe and healthy. One more breath in here. Keep pulling the feet down towards you really gently, lower back on the mat. And then exhale, release that. Feet are up, cross the left leg over the right. Once again, bend the knees. Grab for the ankles or the calves or the shins. Pull the feet towards you. Press the knees away. You'll notice the more you press the knees away from your chest and pull the feet in, you'll feel it more in the outside of the hips. Especially that right hip this time, right? Or sorry, left. One more breath in. And then exhale, we gently release that. Feet come down to the mat. We've got one bridge pose here before we head home. Heels come in towards the glutes, but they're not touching, hands down by your side. Imagine you're squeezing a beach ball or actually squeeze a block. When you're ready, press the hands into the mat, lift the hips. Feet press into the mat a lot. So you're squeezing your glutes, very much a glute workout here. Those are squeezing up, but also your knees are staying as they are or squeezing the block, toes point forward, and then press into the bottoms of the feet. You may feel the chest move closer to the chin. Keep breathing here. Walk the shoulder blades together under the back. If you want to interlace your fingers and press the pinkies into the mat, you can. Keep lifting the hips, squeezing the glutes. Come on, you've got it. Breathe here. Working all of the muscles around that IT band. Keep breathing. And then exhale gently. Lower the hips down to the mat. Bring your hands behind your head. Create a little pillow for the back of your head. Your occiput, that skull bone, rests right in your hands. Then gently windshield wipe the knees to the left and the right, to the left and the right. And fall to the right and stay there for 5 breaths. Gently bring the legs over to the other side, knees to the left. 5 breaths. Really letting this supine twist release the lower back. Stretch side body. Gently come on back to center. Reach the legs out long in front of you for final Shavasana. The arms come by your side or rest. Right hand on the belly, left hand on the heart. Yogi's choice. Final Shavasana, corpse pose. Close the eyes. Let body be heavy. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Unclench the jaw. And stay in the Shavasana for as long as you like. If you're ready to be walked out, gently pull one knee into the chest and then the other. Inhale and reach the arms up overhead. Big morning stretch. Exhale, fetal position, roll to either side. Ear rests on the bicep. Press yourself up to a seated position. Any seat will do on a block, the mat. Legs crossed or uncrossed. Yogi's choice. Palms face up or down on the tops of the knees. One more time, find length in the spine. We'll take 3 breaths together to end the class. Exhale all of your air out. Deep breath in through the nose. Hold it at the top. Through the nose, exhale. Deep breath in through the nose. Sip a little more in, hold it at the top. Open the mouth, H-A. Ha. Blink the eyes open. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Press palms. Exhale, hands come down to your heart. Namaste, y'all. Thanks for joining.